This past weekend was genuinely one of the most exciting and entertaining weekends of non-international competition that I think League of Legends Esports has honestly ever seen. That also isn't a final, because finals are just exactly what they are. And yet, I left the weekend honestly bitter. Like, that's my honest reaction, is that I am just bitter. Why? Requires some historical context. Because just over 3 years ago now, I called into Hotline League, which this might not need explaining for some of you what Hotline League is, but as I found out on Twitter, which made me feel very old, I actually do have to explain who Travis Gafford is now in some of these videos. Hotline League was a call-in show that used to happen in the league space. It was predominantly for North America, but it touched on international topics. There was a whole road trip of it whenever Worlds was last here in North America. But in 2023, I called in to now Commissioner Mark Z and Travis Gafford, who is retired from the space, to talk about my want for road shows in the space, most notably in North America, but at the time also for beyond. Like, just 2 road trips during the regular season, get us out of these studios that we feel stuck in. And I was, honest to God, laughed at.
League of Legends is back here on this weekend each year. It's going to happen. And you start building, and those tickets become more sought after, and you just start growing fandom. Even if it's 10 more people than it was before, good, it's done its job.
I just feel like it's a little bit like, just draw the rest of the fucking owl whenever you say this stuff. Like, in terms of like, oh yeah, just do all this stuff.
There are people are always like, get the LCS out of LA. Like, there's no benefits to the fact that like we are using a Riot-owned building in this area where there's like all this Riot infrastructure that they have specifically built to be like their campus and stuff like that. Like the LCS arena, from like a real estate standpoint, is like a pretty good deal for them. They can like run all this stuff through there.
If you want to see the full thing, I have it linked on Twitter, and I'll actually link the tweet down below so you can watch it. I don't want to bore you with all 25 minutes. This video has other points to be made. But I'll be honest with you, I had to record that like in OBS, and I was just seething listening to it at how angry I was getting just listening to, honestly, how disrespected the opinion was at the time. But obviously I still looked up, and still do to a certain extent, look up to Mark Z and Travis Gafford as like pioneers in the space. So like, I didn't take it personally in many areas when maybe I probably should have at points. And that comes to its fruition this past weekend, where we see, starting off with the LCK, the T1 Spring homestand, which notably is in a 10,000 person venue that's sold out. All of the stuff that's going on around this is just incredible, from like the entrances, Chrissy Costanza's there singing Legends Never Die. The games, they're not even playing top teams. Like, they play Bro and I forget who else, honestly. Either way, it wasn't close. T1 dominated. But their big headlining moment that they had, besides the games themselves, and obviously the amount of money that T1 probably made from this revenue generating opportunity, is that they re-signed Keria through 2029, which, again, massive congratulations to Keria. This T1 squad is going to be dangerous for years to come, so long as obviously they have Faker and Keria through 29, Owner through 28. Like, what else do you say? Great for them. Good for T1 fans as well, who had a fantastic weekend. But I'll be honest with you, despite that, it wasn't even the best roadshow. And I know Joe Marsh might see this, might not like me saying that, but dude, I'm sorry, those KCorp fans just like were on one, okay? The players are out there celebrating with the fans like event going off today and yesterday. The fans are just on a whole other level to T1. It's just European soccer culture. It's bled into esports finally in its fullest form. I mean, this is a 3,000 person crowd that made it feel bigger than any Worlds final, honestly, I've ever watched. It was insane. I was there in the Chase Center in 2022. This crowd, at least on the broadcast, listening back to it, feels bigger. Obviously, it's in favor of the home team, but still. The most important part of this roadshow is it's at KCorp's home arena. They have a home space that they could sell out each and every time if they want to. And because of that, yeah, we've lost Busio over to Europe. Awesome. Wow. Congratulated him on Twitter. And that was painful. Absolutely painful. I don't want to ever have to feel that again, North America, please. But on top of that, the crowning announcement from this is that KCorp's summer roadshow is going to be at the same place that Worlds quarters and semis were held in Worlds 2024 with a 7,000 person capacity. That's great. And they're going to sell it out too. It will be sold out in seconds. That arena is going to be nuts. It's going to be one of the most insane regular season road trips that we have ever watched. I'm telling you now, it's going to blow the roof off of everything else that we have watched up to this point. So why do I leave this weekend bitter with those two awesome things that happen? Because then you go and watch the LCS. And while some of the games were entertaining, by all means, this is not anything against the games themselves. It is the fact that we were in the studio on the main stage with no fans at all. They didn't sell any tickets for the week. This is apparently done, according to Mark Z, in order to reduce cost to make sure that we can afford our road shows here in North America. And wow, I do believe this, because apparently, according to Papa Smithy, who was in my co-stream chat on Saturday, he said it costs more money for the LCS. We lose more if that studio is filled out, because you have to have more staff on hand to be able to handle those people who don't pay as much for tickets. Apparently, we don't sell enough in hot dogs and concessions and merch and beyond to make it worth it. I get it, because why would you buy anything from the merch stand there if you get a lot of things for free at the Fan Fest? Just saying, it's a smart move if you ever go to any of these. You don't have to buy merch. The Fan Fest will give you a ton of stuff. Finals, I think the merch there is a little bit different. It's a little bit stepped up. Different story. So you're telling me it's cheaper to run this in the studio without them there. It's apparently cheaper than to run it in the side stage. But my question would be this, okay? Is this logic actually sound? But I don't think so, personally. I think it's personally more insulting to have us in the studio with no fans and say this is the smarter financial play than to straight up say, hey, let's cut the cost entirely of that studio. Because according to Avali, it was like $40,000 a day to be in there with the full thing. Now, maybe if this extra staff that you're reducing saves, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000, I find it hard to believe that that's the bulk of the cost that you're saving here. Maybe that adds up, but again, this is the first weekend that we've done this. Why wouldn't you just go online then? That saves in the electricity, the tech costs, beyond broadcast talent, you still have to pay. That is the one labor cost that is definitely there. The observers are still there, and then whatever it takes to run the servers that they play on, which I guess is its own separate independent thing. All of that cost still exists, but you can still cut out so much more if you go online. And honestly, it doesn't feel as bad, because one of the main reasons why they swapped back from weekdays to weekends, back from 2023 to 2024, was the message that it sounds better and is a better promotional product if we have the studio filled with fans. Playing in front of nobody feels terrible. And yeah, go figure, after watching T1 and KCorp play in front of 10,000 and 3,000 obnoxiously loud fans, yeah, playing in front of nobody's going to feel like shit in the studio. It's going to feel bad no matter what, whether you're playing online or in the studio, to be very clear. It's going to feel bad no matter what. But I can swallow my pride more whenever we're not sitting here staring at empty seats or making sure we're intentionally not showing the seats at all. If it's online to begin with, I'm jealous still, but I'm not peeved like I am right now. It's these measures that always feel like they're being taken by Riot in the LCS, where it's a half step, okay? Oh, we need to save costs for these road trips. Then do the actual cost-efficient thing. Go online, use that excess money to get us out and about in more places. Speaking of which, yes, we do have more road shows this split, but I just want to raise that I've seen the common complaint now, especially after I made my video saying, hey, we're not even selling out. This is what the seating chart looks like right now in terms of the available tickets for finals in Arizona. First and foremost, the fact that it's in Arizona is still west of the line where 75% of the population lives. But I think the big problem is those seats that are close to the stage for 2 days are $270 before tax. And I know there's going to be a comment from Riot that inevitably pokes a hole in this. You wanted more road shows. This is what it takes to get more road shows and the cost associated with that. $270 is too much. Simply put, It's too much. You are better off taking the $100 seats in the back and just getting in the building. It is not worth $150 more to sit up front where those seats are. I'm sorry, it's not. Like, if you have that money, fine. But clearly, based on the amount of tickets sold already, one, it's either a marketing problem, but people don't know, but it's been plastered all over the LCS broadcast. I've talked about it and beyond, so I know that people know about it. It's a price thing. I promise you it's a price thing for the market that you're going to as well. And I hope the people of Arizona turn up, and I hope that this eventually does sell out as the price eventually is forced to drop, that Riot sees, okay, you know, we're better off having somebody in the arena for cost rather than nobody because our prices are still way too high. But back to that bitter feeling. Like, I'm stuck here as a North American fan because I was raising the alarm bells 3 years ago about the importance of roadshows. And I understand the teams are the ones mostly responsible over in Europe and Korea for making this happen, not Riot. And we do not have the team structure and ecosystem right now in North America. Nobody's tied themselves locally like we need to have happen here. So here's my pitch, okay? And I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse to a certain extent, and I've been on this wave for a long time. Riot, give me an annual event here in New York. All I'm asking, like, I don't care what we need to do. We need to downscale the production as much as we possibly can. I don't care if you only fly 2 casters out here, okay? And maybe like 2 analyst desks, and then anybody else that's local here that we don't have to pay to come in. That's what we make work. And then from there, pick a 2,000 person arena so we can sell tickets at most for an entire weekend for like 150 for the really good seats. Like, we gotta find a way to make it affordable for the people that can go out. Maybe because it's New York, you can go 200, but I still feel like that's like pushing it right now given the market. But just give me an annual small event here that I can help push, sell out, and promote for you, and we see where it goes. If I can't make that work, and I will do as much on the ground marketing as I possibly can here, then I will admit that, quite frankly, it's doomed for our region and we just can't make it work, and we have to go to the festivals or like the Dream Hacks and beyond where people already have tickets, okay? And we just have to do that. And my dream of having a KCorp style thing here in New York City for Team Liquid is just impossible, okay? I'll admit that if that's the case. But give me 2 years of an annual road show here in New York City, or like go to Brooklyn. No, I'm going to keep it. It has to be here in New York City. I understand the labor costs might be a little bit higher because of the unions. Make it in New York City. We'll find a way to make it work. Downscale your production to allow us to make that happen. And let me see what I can build here. Let me see what I can do, because I see what T1 has and I see what KCorp has, and I want it and I'm willing to work for it. Help me here, please. Because if I have to watch the LCS in an empty studio, knowing that I'm potentially not even building towards anything for our domestic league here on the East Coast, because right now all we have is LA and Phoenix, which is not currently selling out, I'm going to give myself a freaking heart attack. To go back to that video at the beginning in my Hotline League take, I believe in my heart of hearts that I was 100% right on that take. And it's funny that when I said we need to go to college gymnasiums and beyond, we're now going to the Arizona State gym. That's where we're going. Like, the thing that I called 3 years ago is happening. Now, if it doesn't sell out and maybe some of these ideas don't work for NA, maybe I just called it for the wrong region. But at the end of the day, clearly, everywhere else is showing you that this model is the way to connect with fans. And it makes it, for those of us that aren't even there, a better product to watch and look forward to online. So yeah, congrats, Busio, on finding your forever home over in Europe. I get why you won't come back for now, but hopefully I might be able to give the next Busio a reason to play here.